Welcome, everyone, to the Bucks County Living Podcast. I'm your host, Alex Neff, your real estate resource. Today, I am joined by my good friend, Jess Saegert, the store manager for Uptown Cheapskate in Langhorne Square. Good morning, Jess. How are you?
Hi, Alex. I'm great. Thanks for having me.
Thank you so much for coming. I'm really excited to hear your story and talk about Uptown Cheapskate and what you guys do in the community. So, what is the Uptown Cheapskate?
So, Uptown Cheapskate as a brand and a company is just a resale thrift store. We started in 2009. My owner and her brother started it after working for their parents' resale kids store their whole life. And so they grew up in this family business and they decided that they wanted to have a market for people their age. And so they came back from a trip and decided to open their own business, and they've been running that ever since. It started out in Salt Lake City in Utah, and now we've got over 100 stores across the country.
Wow.
Yeah.
How did you get involved with the organization?
So I shopped there for a couple years, I guess ever since they first opened, and I absolutely loved it. I thrift at probably every thrift store in the county and then some. And that was always one of my favorite stores, and that was always the store that I would text my friend and say, hey, do you want to go to Uptown? You know, whenever we would take that shopping day. And so I guess just getting their texts and their emails, following them on social media. Last year, I saw that they were looking for a store manager, and it just kind of was the right time for me to make a jump into something I'd be more excited about doing every day. And here I am.
That's awesome. So Uptown Cheapskate, it's a thrift store, so people can come in with clothes that they've, I guess, pre-owned clothes that they can trade in for cash value or store credit, or tell me about like how the business model actually is.
Yeah, so about 80% of our inventory and what you see in the store is going to be used items, and then 20, sometimes 30%, depending on how much we're buying, is actually going to be brand new product too. So we do like to have a little bit of new stuff so that there's something for everyone. Not everybody is an avid reseller or thrifter or wants to wear used clothing. So when you come in, if you're not familiar with us, we do have new product in the store. But we are resale, and so what that means is you can bring us your clothes every day that we're open, Monday through Saturday, and we'll appraise them. If they're in excellent condition and they're current styles that are selling well for us, you're still seeing people wearing them. You know what I mean? They're still on the racks at other stores. If those are the looks that you're bringing us, we're going to resell them at a fraction of the price of buying it at a retail store or somewhere else or online. The cool thing is you can come in and you can make some money. You can make a little bit of cash back from your clothes that you're no longer using. Or we'll give you a higher offer, which is usually about 25% more than the cash offer if you want to take store credit. So we really encourage people to trade in their closets, to buy resale, to really kind of hone in on that sustainability aspect of it too, and not throw clothes away. So you do get a little bit of a kickback if you trade in or sell your clothes. Some people do make a profit off of it. We get a lot of different people bringing us clothes, but for the most part, it's a way to keep the life of each item that comes in, you know, when you're done with it. There's a lot of fast fashion right now, so sometimes people are only wearing an outfit one time. So we would hate to see that go to waste. We would love to see, you know, multiple more people get use out of whatever you're done with.
Well, I think that also talks to the other point that, you know, not only do you have to run a business, right, as a store manager, making sure that, you know, what you're getting in is resellable and usable, but you also have to stay up to date on like the current fashion trends too.
Yeah.
Which is a whole new business in itself, right? Which is like a whole different can of worms.
Yeah.
So where do you, as a store manager, find the time to? I know there's only 24 hours in a day, right? So how do you find the time to stay up to date on fashion trends, organize everything in the store, make sure that people are getting a fair price for their clothes? I mean, you also sell stuff on consignment too, so people will give it to you, be like, "Hey, sell this for top dollar," and you know, you pay them a whatever it is take after your commission. There's a lot of different moving parts, so you have to have some sort of support staff with you there, right?
Yeah. So we have different positions throughout the store. Some of our employees are just sales associates. You're going to see them on the floor. You're going to see them at the cash register. They're going to be helping make the shopping end of it look amazing and have a great experience. But then we have people that are specifically trained to be our buyers. And so we make sure that the people that are at the very front greeting you and sorting and appraising and paying you for your clothes have been trained, have knowledge and a genuine interest in clothing and fashion, and that they know what's up to date. So we actually have a lot of training that goes along with that I think people might not know when they come to us. But I would like everyone to know that you can really trust the person that's buying your clothes. We hold them to a high standard to make sure that they are bringing in the best of the best all the time. I've just always loved clothes and people, and so I pay attention to what people are wearing. I really like to see what shoes someone is wearing, or even their watch, or those little details. I like to see how people style things differently, because it is really hard when you go into most stores. It's just hanging on the rack, and you have to figure out how to make that look good for yourself. Not everybody enjoys that, and now a lot of people are doing online shopping, and it's just a click away, you know. But personally, I keep up with trends just by being on Instagram a lot. I have a lot of retail experience, and I used to style people when I worked at Nordstrom. So I kind of just taken all of the years of experience and, my interest in it and put it all together. So that's something that you kind of get to when you come into our store is you can feel the diversity. You can feel literally, the vendors that brought them into us are going to be people that live all throughout our county. So we buy in brands like from the mall. We buy in designer items. We have some boutique items. Every day there's probably a new brand that I've never heard of that I have to look up. If we're not familiar with something, we don't guess. We look it up, and we see where it's made. We see what the original cost is, so we can price it. And that's really exciting too, because I'm always learning more. Like there's no way you can know every brand of clothing and how old it is just by looking at it. It's
kind of like Pawn Stars for fashion.
Yeah.
Where it's like we got to bring in the expert on this one.
Yeah. And it's really funny because I would never say that I was an expert in anything until I came here. I've worked at a similar company that did resale in another state. I've worked for big companies in multiple states. So I almost feel like I can look at a lot of times I can look at something and I can just remember what year. I go, ooh, I remember when everybody was wearing that. That's not current. I wore, I wore that when I was 21.
Yeah.
or things like that.
And that comes with the experience of being in the business.
Yeah, I think that just comes with being a girl that's always loved clothes.
Yeah, and that I feel like that all really kind of mirrors what I do really well in real estate, because it's not just me. Like I'm the front man, I'm the go-to guy, but like behind me I have a whole team here at the brokerage that do title, that do mortgage, that do conveyancing, that really shuffle around all the paperwork and really get all that back of house stuff done, because buying a house is not as simple as buying a cup of coffee. So there's a lot of people behind the scenes, and then every day we're all just trying to learn something new, right? Because there are so many different things, so many different facets, and so many different layers to any business, whether it's fashion design, fashion resale, clothing resale, or selling houses, right? It's all, there's different layers to everything, and it's a lot for just one person to do it all themselves. So
it is a lot, yeah.
Kudos to your team for.
We have a lot of people behind the scenes too. So even though we're the only store in this area, we are connected within our network of ownership. And so we collaborate too. We have tools that we use to share between stores. Hey, look what we just got. This is how we merchandised this. We give each other ideas on how to make our stores look great. We also have a team that specifically buys our new product. So they really make sure that if we're bringing in things from the outside, we look for small vendors first, and we look for the most current trends. So there's people who, when that stuff comes in, it's going to be super cute right now, really fresh, and those items go very quickly. Sometimes it's even just down to like what colors are trending, and that's been really fun. You know, one month it was lime green and lilac purple, and that was it. Like, and I would have never guessed how many people were buying those two colors and wearing them together, but it was.
Interesting combination.
I didn't have that. I didn't know that that was like the it thing, and the people behind the scenes that help support me were like, you have to buy a lot of purple right now. Yeah.
I'm getting like Barney the dinosaur at a rave kind of vibes with
You know what though? Trending.
It was trending. And my brokerage is, we're the purple people. We're the our official color is Cabernet. So Cabernet is the Berkshire Hathaway Home Services Fox and Roach color.
Well, we even use like the Pantone colors of the year too. We have so many tools that our buyers use that sometimes if you use like that tool in particular, I can say, you know what, this shade of yellow was from 5 years ago, and then guarantee you I look at the tag and most clothing has year dates on them and I can say, yep, that matches up. So it's really interesting if you are into that.
Oh yeah, I just did.
I'd say most people aren't, but I can look at things and go, oh, I remember that shade of green.
Exactly. I actually just did a YouTube video about the color wheel and how, you know, because sometimes you walk into a house and I'm showing a house and I'm like, this house is painted beautifully. Everything just complements everything so well. This accent wall really highlights this accessory or this appliance or whatever it is in the house. So I wanted to do a video to be like, how did people get the ideas for all this stuff? So make sure to check out my YouTube video.
That sounds cool. I like that.
Awesome.
I wish we could use something like that at the store. If you're trying to put together an outfit, what colors go with? Kind of neat.
Yeah, there was tones and hues and shades, and it was really interesting stuff as I was doing a deeper dive into the color wheel. I felt like I was back in like 3rd grade art class, but
there's always something to learn.
Yeah. But to learn, you know, now being almost 30, it was it was definitely to the next level. So, Uptown Cheapskate obviously is a for-profit organization, but you do a ton of community outreach, donations. Can you talk a little bit about that side of the business?
Yeah, absolutely. So whenever somebody brings us clothing that they are looking to sell, a lot of times people are cleaning out their closet or sized out or no longer interested in that trend, right? So there's a reason that they're bringing it to us. We aren't able to buy every piece that comes into the store. I wish we could, but that would be a whole nother business. So we give you the option that we can donate on your behalf if you would like to just leave the remaining items. You don't want to take them back with you. So we've partnered with probably close to 10, but I can think of a few organizations that we've given our clothing and shoe donations to. So we've donated to Bucks County Family Services, Declan's Socks for the Streets, Angels in Motion, Savage Sisters, True Light Recovery, and Neshaminy School District. And so the really cool thing about that is most of the organizations that pick up the remaining clothes from us take only what they need. So each of those groups does different work in the community, and so they will take different things. So I'd love to just tell you like what we do with Neshaminy School District. So a few of the middle schools have come and taken some things, and what they usually take are sweatpants, jeans, hoodies, things like that. And so they provide for the nursing department. Sometimes you need a change of pants. Sometimes a crop top is not acceptable in high school these days. So if somebody's not dressed to the dress code, they'll give them a hoodie to wear for the rest of the day. And then the thing that I really loved that I was not aware of when I was in school, and I don't know how many other schools do this, but they have a closet in their guidance counseling, and they keep clothes there for any kids who aren't in need in their school, or many times kids are being pulled out of school for different reasons and who might not be getting the opportunity to go home and gather their things, whether they're being taken to a family member or foster system or something like that. So the school makes sure that they have clothes for kids that might be in that kind of tough situation too. And that was something I had never even thought of. I know a lot of people that do outreach for the unhoused in the area, for people in drug and alcohol treatment and things like that, but I'd never really thought about kids who needed the clothes. So it's really cool to be able to help them too, knowing that they're right down the street, and they might be teens that have actually shopped with us too, you know?
Wow.
So we try to give to anyone that's in need, I will say we get so many clothing donations that we would love to partner with more nonprofits or schools in the area. So if anybody has a need, we would love to be able to just connect you to the resources that we have, because every day we have a lot of clothes that we don't want to go to waste. We never resell anything that's a donation, and we never throw it away. So we make sure that everything that gets left over that's not bought in goes where it needs to go.
Beautiful.
It's really cool.
That is really cool. That's impressive.
Yeah.
So, what do you think makes Uptown Cheapskate stand out from all the other clothing stores?
I just think we have the best selection of clothes. You know, if you're coming to a store like ours, you're coming because you really enjoy shopping. I always suggest people have a little bit of time. We have the store organized by size and color, and we try to keep styles separated too. But we pack a lot in there. We have all sorts of different brands, and the main thing for me, the reason that I always went there, is I like to get quantity and quality. But when I go shopping, like, I've always loved to just see how much can I go home with, how many really great things can I find today. And so because we have such a selection, you never know what you're going to find, and we price things up to 70% off of that original price, so you can really take home some amazing things.
Holy moly.
We've sold some designer items for a really good price, and people are really excited because they might not have been able to, like, wear that brand or experience what it's like to have a high-end piece otherwise. So I just think the best part about our store is that you can find something different every time.
So you have clothing for men, women, kids, everybody. And shoes.
Just men and women. We don't
just
do
men
kids.
and women. Okay.
Yeah. So our sister company that we were kind of born out of the idea is called Kid to Kid. We don't have any stores in this area, but they do kids' clothing, shoes, equipment like strollers, toys.
Oh, wow.
We only have room, and our brand is Uptown, is just men's and women's.
Okay.
I would absolutely love to get more men coming in and selling us their clothes. I think there's a big room for opportunity there, but the men's stuff that we do have, I think, is pretty sweet. We put all of our graphic t-shirts in the men's section, so men and women both know to go to that section and find what they're looking for, and that's probably one of our biggest things too, or just like band tees, graphic tees. You can find, we don't really sell vintage items, but we'll buy in a great old t-shirt, you know what I mean? Because that's just never going to go out of style.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I love that. Wow, so it sounds like you have a full plate there as a store manager.
Sure do.
Sifting through donations, making these connections with the different organizations that can really benefit from the people that come in and choose to donate their clothes instead of the resale, and plus, like, running a whole business on top of that.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, it's definitely two businesses in one.
Yeah.
It's exciting though. It's different every day. You never know who's going to walk through the door. You never know what you're going to open when you look through somebody's bag or bin. But it's exciting. I've seen some really cool pieces come in, and I've met some really amazing people. It's been a good resource too. Like, we have a lot of people come in, and maybe it's a loved one's clothes that they would like to find a new home for, and just getting to know the stories behind the clothes is really exciting for me too. Even if it's an item that we can't buy in. We had somebody bring in these beautiful vintage fur coats. It's not for me, and it's not necessarily something that would sell well for our store, but I just took the time to ask the man about where did these come from, and they were his mother's, custom made in the Bronx in the 60s, so
wow.
Like, you never know what you're going to see or try on for the day. I had to put it on. I just needed to know.
Yeah.
It was very heavy. And so, like, everything that comes in comes with a story, and that keeps it interesting for me.
And you sound so passionate about it too. Like,
I just really love, like, clothes, and I love people, so I get to just play with both all day.
Yeah, where the two come together, and it doesn't feel like work. It feels like an opportunity to make a difference in the world. I love it.
Yeah.
Awesome. So next, I like to move into a segment called the Big Three. So these are the three questions that I ask everybody that comes onto the show. First, my question is, what do you think makes Bucks County a great place to live?
So personally, I think the parks. I think we've got some of the best outdoor places to go. And so when I'm not working, I like to be outside. I think all of our state parks are phenomenal. And yeah, the county parks too. Like Tyler State Park.
Tyler State Park is gorgeous.
I love it.
That's right down the street here.
Every time I go, I find another corner of the park that I had never been to. And you could call that getting lost. But
some call that getting lost.
Some would call it I always find my way back. Yeah, I absolutely love our park system, honestly. I think despite having so many businesses and neighborhoods and schools, like there's so much in Bucks County. But I think those open spaces that we've got left, those are probably my favorite.
Yeah, and the Parks and Rec crew, they do a phenomenal job on the county level, on the township level. They really do a wonderful job.
Falls Township Park, that's another one of my favorite. Yeah.
Yeah.
Love it.
Awesome. Now, what is your favorite restaurant in Bucks County? You can list more than one because there's a lot.
I love to eat. Okay. Well, my number one, I have to say, I am a little biased because it is owned by my family, but Sandy's Beef and Ale has been around for more than 50 years.
The roast beef sandwich is out of this world.
The Cuban. I am 31 years old, and for as long as I can remember, I go in there and I order the Cuban every single time. And it's really hard to convince me to get anything else. So I love it because of the food, but I love it because it makes everybody in there feel like family. I've met so many friends throughout the years, and I would say, oh, my family owns this, or I used to work here, Growing up, I had a lot of opportunities to waitress in there or to work our St. Patrick's Day events. I mean, like, that's
just
just
nuts.
We look forward to that every year. And I feel like all of Levittown comes out and they try to all squeeze in there, and everybody has a good time. No matter how many people, no matter how many bagpipes you're trying to not bump into while the servers are bringing you the roast beef. Yeah, it's just such a cool place, and I'm never not craving a roast beef sandwich, and I'm never not craving a Cuban, to be honest.
With the horseradish on top.
Oh my God, I love it.
Fantastic. So your family, I didn't know that your family owns Sandy's. Who is Sandy?
Well,
You don't even know who Sandy is.
I don't know. I got the story on the fur coat, but I don't have the story on Sandy's. I just know that a few years ago we celebrated 50 years. And my aunt and uncle have been a part of that for at least 25 now. And during COVID, they actually got another couple to come in and partner with them. So there's 2 families now that are running it.
Wow.
And that's only made it better,
That's good.
It's really grown. They have a food truck now, so you could have them come to your party. I don't even know where they are sometimes, and I went down to like the Irish festival down at the wharf in Bristol, and the Sandy's truck was there, and it's just like really fun. I love it. Not an intentional plug. It's just my favorite restaurant.
That's great.
I love Cancun too.
Oh yeah, right
I
on
never get tired of
right
Cancun.
on Old Lincoln Highway.
Yeah.
Or Lincoln Highway. Business One.
Business One. Yeah. So that's not far from our store either. Really anything on Business One. Like, I feel like you've got everything right here. Bucks County's huge, but I grew up in Levittown, Fairless Hills. I grew up going to Oxford Valley Mall and the Chamonix Mall every Friday. Like, I feel like Lower Bucks holds so much. Lestal is great too in Newtown.
Lestal is fantastic.
These
are just heavy hitters that you're just listing.
I like a heavy meal too. Like heavy hitter restaurant, but like I like to be so full that like that's it.
Yeah.
I'm done. I'm done eating.
Get your money's worth. That's what's beautiful about these restaurants is like you go in there, you get your money's worth, right?
Yeah.
It's not like you're spending $20 for a sandwich at Sandy's, right? Like it might be $20 for the whole meal where it's the food, the drink, the everything.
You can get like half a sandwich and wings. They do a special where it's like, I don't even know, 2 sandwiches, wings, a pitcher of beer, all this stuff. I know, you're like, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Like poutine fries, all the, oh my God, yeah. I love any place that's like that where you can just get everybody together, you want to order one of everything on the menu, and just like that's your night is the meal. I'm perfectly fine with when I'm not working. I'm either sitting outside at a park or I'm just having a big old meal.
Yeah,
and I'm good.
It's comforting.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Absolutely.
And my last question is, where can people find out more about you and Uptown Cheapskate?
Well, both of our socials are going to be Uptown Langhorne, so you can find us on Instagram or Facebook. You can also go to uptowncheapskate.com and get more information about us as a whole company. They list in detail how to sell to us, what we look for, and how that selling process works. But we also post things like that on our social media. So I will regularly be posting items that we have in the store for sale, but also the buying end of it too, if you're looking to sell your clothes to us. But they can call us any day that we're open to, and we love to answer questions. And if you're looking for something specific to wear, you can call ahead or come in, and we love to run around the store and find things for you. You know, if you're looking for cowboy boots, I will look around if you're looking for a denim jacket, we are like the denim jacket destination. I have probably 100 denim jackets.
Wow.
So I think if you're looking for anything, start with us. If you know your favorite brands, your favorite mall brands, come to us, see if we have your size and in the jeans that you love. And, if you want to go pay full price after you've seen what we've got.
Yeah.
Pretty much. But, uptowncheapskate.com would have all of the information for just how everything works for our store.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for coming out today, Jess. I really do appreciate you talking about Uptown Cheapskate, what you guys do and what you do for the community. And I'm so excited to see how you continue to partner with different organizations in the community to really just try and clothe Bucks County to the best that you can.
Yeah.
So awesome. Thank you so much, Jess.
Thank
and as
you.
always, I'm Alex Neff, your real estate resource. Make sure to give me a call if you have any questions about Bucks County living.